Caution, the Mark Gungor Show contains adult content intended for an adult audience. And, besides that, he's really weird. Welcome to the Mark Gungor Show with international marriage speaker and author of Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage, Mark Gungor. This is your source for practical, down-to-earth marriage advice without all the over-spiritualization or romantic nonsense. And now the host of the Mark Gungor Show, Mark Gungor.
And the crowd goes wild with delirious joy. They've joined the Mark Gungor Show, the show that deals with all things concerning
knowledge.
Indeed, I'm your host, the one, the only, Mark Gungor. Joining me as always, the ever lovely and charming and blue.
And blue. Oh, that's really blue on the screen.
You're very blue today. Diane Barley, and of course, the amazing Philip James Gungor, heir to the vast Gungor fortune, which is up to like $27. Hallelujah! Engineering the show as always, the very talented but eerily creepy Timothy Robert Ray, pushing buttons, twisting knobs, and trying to stay awake during this incredibly, immeasurably boring show. This is the show that handles your marital challenges, relational conundrums, and dating dilemmas that you can email to us at ask@markgungor.com. You get to remain nice and anonymous when you write, and we are just very direct and at times brutally honest in our responses. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Oh, y'all. Oh, y'all.
I'm well.
I actually feel like doing the show today.
You do?
Yeah. Isn't that odd? It's like it's like something's wrong.
What's the temperatures in hell?
Now, the temperature in hell has just dropped dramatically. So,
Goodness
I don't know.
gracious.
Well,
You never feel like doing
I haven't
the
heard the questions yet.
That's true.
I could
By
be,
the time we get
I
20
could be
minutes
suicidal by the end.
you may.
Some
Why
of
did
these
I want to do this show?
insane questions. But anyway, what do you got there today?
Okay,
we're still doing
working on the list of the best marriage advice
our
ever.
best marriage advice ever, number 15.
Yes, we're on 15. When you make a mistake, admit it and humbly ask forgiveness. You should be quick to say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Why is that so hard for people?
Oh, you would think it's like cutting off their left arm or another appendage.
We try to hang on to our appendages. That's a little painful. I don't get what the big deal is.
I don't know either, but it's a really big deal for some people.
There are times when people will tell me, they come to my seminar. At the end of the seminar, I just have people turn and listen. I'm sorry, just apologize, because nobody gets this right? Yep. And I'm surprised at how many people say stuff like, that's the first time I've ever heard my spouse say the words,
Is it
"I'm sorry."
pride? Is it because they genuinely don't think they ever do anything wrong? What is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's very detrimental to a relationship. I do know that.
There's more than to it. I mean, like I'm listening to this lady on the airplane the other day, all I do is travel and try to sleep. Actually, a lot of people are very productive when they travel. Mm-hmm. I am the most unproductive human being on earth when I travel.
You just...
I can't focus. Mm-hmm. And you kind of sleep, but you don't sleep. You're like in the twilight zone of... Anyway, and then you got these people around you talking.
Well, the loud talkers.
And you just want to turn around and smack them, because you can't escape their conversation.
Right. You're trapped 3 hours on a flight.
Yeah, listening to everything that's coming out of their heads, and nobody cares. And they're introducing, some guys tell them about how great he is.
Oh, yeah.
They're just obsessed.
They're always about themselves and always loud talkers about themselves.
Sounds like me, actually. So anyway.
I'm surprised that's not you on a flight, actually.
But it's like, shut up, okay? Anyway, so I usually put in ear things and turn up some music or something. But I'm listening to this lady, and she's just going into this whole thing. Well, everybody's going to say it's my fault. Everybody's going to say it's my fault. Well, everybody's going to say, I just think there are people, they're just obsessed by that. It bothers them terribly. And I think, who cares?
Sometimes it is your fault.
Well, I assume most of the time that it is in fact my fault. I don't understand this thing. There's a great many people that I know personally that's their thing. They hate it. Or everybody's going to think it's my fault. Well, who cares? What is this thing of what other people think? I don't understand it. clearly, I am not amongst those who care what other people think. That's why I say what I say, because I honestly don't care. I mean, there's people I respect. I would care what they think.
Yeah.
But in general, I don't understand it. So anyway, I'm sure it's tied to this, inability to ever apologize. It kills them.
I sing the Bryan Adams song, Please Forgive Me, to Kirsty every night. Just in case.
Just in case. I'm sorry for whatever I did wrong today.
All right.
But you know what? That's not. Never mind. We won't go down that rabbit trail.
All right, cut to me. Now cut to Phil. Now cut to her. Do you see the inconsistencies in the
Go back
focal
to the
lengths?
Yeah.
Okay, and she's kind of tight, and I'm in between. And it's like
We need
someone was, like
continuity.
smoking marijuana
You have to fit
before they came to work
fit in all
today.
of my muscles, so that
We
throws
got
them off.
3 focal lengths. It's like, I'm starting to hallucinate. Anyway,
Need some
because
consistency.
most people would never have noticed it. Now they'll all be aware of
Then
it.
they're like, oh, those bad camera shots. Okay, the next one.
Especially the tens of thousands that just
The
listen.
tens of thousands
Yes.
of people. Actually, there are millions and millions of people that do not watch your show. That's what you got to focus on.
Benefiting greatly. Okay, next on the list of best marriage advice ever.
Yes.
When your husband or wife breaks your trust, give them your forgiveness instantly.
Instantly.
Which will promote healing and create the opportunity for trust to be rebuilt. You should be quick to say, I love you, I forgive you, let's move forward.
Yeah, I don't think the word instantly is really particularly
Depending on the
helpful.
transgression.
What, you know what I'm saying?
I know
Did
what
a man
you're saying.
write this?
Yes,
A man did.
A man did write this.
See, that's the problem with
Yes.
men. We have a few. Is that they... I talked about this on Sunday.
I hadn't noticed. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I mean, they transgress horribly. And then they think it's okay. Well, I said I'm sorry. They're the opposite. Apparently saying...
What's your problem?
Yeah, what's your problem? Well, my problem is you ran over me with the car and kept backing up and going forward. Finally step out of the car and go, oh, sorry about that. And I talk about how men and women, or men, tend to compartmentalize, the nothing box and all that. Everything's in a box, and they literally have a sorry box. They don't open it very often, but when they think they do, it's the big eraser. And they literally, no matter how horrific they have been and hurtful to someone, they open that box and go, oh,
Sorry.
I said I'm sorry. And they expect total absolution instantly.
And they expect that it's okay if they get in the car and run over you again. And they say, I'm sorry. And then they get in the car and they run over you again. Well, I said I was sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And they get in the car and they run over you again.
Now you shrank about an inch and a half.
it's me.
I can't take it anymore. We're going to take a break. We're going to try and fix these cameras, and we'll be back with your emails right after this.
Mark Gungor. Yeah, we've got an app for that. Download your free Mark Gungor app today.
Hi, I want to talk to you about a new program that we are launching here called Transition One. It is a 1-year gap program for young people graduating from high school before they go running off to college right away. It's 1 year. Pause for 1 year. Put God first in your life for 1 year. The Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God, and all the things you need will be added to you. But what we think is, no, we need to get these things so much. That's got to be first, and who cares about God? And that's a big mistake. 80% of the young people going through our churches after the first year or two of college completely give up on their faith. We're doing a terrible job. We're not really preparing them. Hence, why some of these 1-year programs are popping up all across the country. We've started one here in Green Bay in connection with our church here at Celebration Church, church that I'm the pastor of. And it's a 1-year program, gap year program, designed to help young people to focus about their priorities in life, on their faith. It's not a Bible college by any means, but it's about helping them focus on their faith, how to succeed in life, how to make decisions, all this kind of stuff. And then after the first 6 months, which is here in the classroom, the last 3 months, we're sending them to missionaries that we know and have great contacts with, areas of the world that are safe, but it'll be a great opportunity for them to go and live someplace else where there's not a McDonald's on every corner and there's not unending video games and all, and you get a chance to really see how most of the people in the world live. And it changes you. It helps change you. We as the evangelical Christians do a terrible job of prioritizing the kingdom of God in our lives. We get our kids to think about, well, you should, but we put everything else first. The Mormons, and I love Mormons, we're not anti-Mormon, but they're not in the evangelical Christian, category. They're much better at this. Every young person is a Mormon supposed to go for 2 years.
They
Serve
have to
God
go
for
out.
2 years before they go do all this stuff.
Yep.
Come on, we can't come up with 9 months. People, and a lot of your kids are going to school, they don't even know what they want to do. Why in the world? Some of you are planning to spend $30,000 a year plus to send a kid to school. He doesn't even know what he wants to do, and he's going to get a history degree or something, which basically means I don't know what I'm going to do. Y'all are crazy. Quit burning all that money. For heaven's sakes, if they know what they're going to do, that's be one thing. This automatic education, college response, I think is very silly, especially for kids. I mean, if some kid, all he wants to do is fly airplanes for the rest of his life, why you sending him to college? If all he wants to do is work on cars, why you sending him to college? Doesn't need to do that. But if at a minimum, even if you want him to go to college, take a year off. Get grounded in your faith, and then launch into the rest of your life. Put God first. Check it out, transition1.org.
Check your blues at the door.
Cool shot. Check your blues at the door.
So kick back and relax, 'cause we're checking our blues at the door.
We're checking your blues at the door. You listen to the Mark Gungor Show. Blues have to be set aside. We blow away people's blues and bring them great joy. Mark Gungor along with Diane Brierly.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. We do. And Philip James Gungor, all here answering your questions about love, marriage, and relationships. What do you got?
Okay, she wants to compliment you first, I guess.
Fabulous. Clearly a brilliant woman.
She says, I
Like
want-
how you say, I guess.
I guess. I have to read it, I guess. I don't have to, but I will. I wanted to thank you for all you do. My life and marriage has been changed because of it. We had our issues the first few years of marriage, but your core advice of just being nice to each other has made an enormous difference in our lives.
Fabulous.
Been married 5.5 years now. I have never been more in love. Such simple advice and so lacking in our world today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I love this woman. Now, is there an insult?
Now there's a question.
Oh, okay.
There's a question. Is it advisable to barter with your spouse on having another child? She wants to know. We have 2, and my husband has said for years now that he is done having kids. I went back and forth on it if I was good with 2 or not. But then I held a baby this past weekend and had extreme baby fever, she says.
That really does mess with chicks, doesn't it?
It does, yes, it does. And then I knew I wanted another one 100% for certain. I approached him about it, and he said no. I pushed in a playful way, and he said he would think about it. Then I asked him later that day if we could make a deal. I would get my IUD removed, and we would not try but not prevent for 6 months. And then if I didn't get pregnant in that time, we'd be done. He agreed, and I was thrilled. But now I'm wondering if he will end up resenting me if we do get pregnant, or am I thinking too much about it, and he'll be fine. He did agree, and he didn't have to, but he also said that he just really likes the process of making a baby.
Indeed. It's one of our favorite processes. If we are to process anything, baby making is usually at the top.
That's so. Anyway, she says, "What do you say?"
I think you're thinking too hard.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like you have a great marriage and a great relationship, and you're being very playful with him. And at some point, he's not a moron, unless, in fact, you have married a moron. He gets it. You know, he's in, and this is the game, and he's up. You know, if you get pregnant, how can a guy at this process get mad all of a sudden you get pregnant?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think that would happen. What are you, a moron? So I think you've done this very well. Kudos to you. I don't see the bartering, though. There's no really bartering there.
Well, she's saying, just give me 6 months, and if it's 6 months I don't get pregnant.
But what's the barter is an exchange of goods or services for money or you know. What
he gets to try to make the baby.
Oh, well, he should.
Maybe. I don't know.
He should get to try to
I
still
don't
have
know.
sex anyway, so I don't.
I know. It's kind of like, let's make a deal. Let me do this, and I'll go off birth control, and let's try for 6 months.
Yeah.
I guess it's not.
The problem is, if I don't know how much of a deal she's willing to live by, if she really has her heart set on this, at the end of 6 months, it's going to be highly unlikely she's going to want to
She
stop.
says that she's okay. She says that she's okay.
That's because she's not at the end of the 6 months.
That's right.
Till she keeps holding babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my wife, she takes newborn photos.
Yeah.
So
Oh, my
every time she
goodness.
comes back.
Oh, let's have another one.
Yeah, but that's
You should.
it's
Have
not
more
happening.
babies.
That's not happening.
More babies.
That's all done. That's off the table now.
Yep.
There's a
I
baby.
went and saw Dr. Wang.
And his name literally is Wang.
Which is so hilarious.
It is, I know.
Yeah.
Mine was Dr. Seaman. I'm not making it up.
I know.
Seriously.
And I've told you before, the other doctor that I know of that did it was Dr. Hacker, and his first name was Philip, so his initial
No,
was...
don't say
I'm
it.
just saying.
All right. So anyway, What? Just
Diane.
Diane, you're so out of
You
control.
say Wang, you say semen, and I say hacker, and I get busted for it. What is that?
You're a chick. All right. It's an uneven playing field. Get over it.
Oh my
All right.
gosh.
So what are we talking about?
About having more babies.
Oh, so anyway, I think she's fine.
Yeah.
I just think she's thinking too hard. I like the fact she wrote us though. We love you.
So what do you do when you totally have a disagreement on the number of children? How do you solve that?
You fight it out. You wrestle. You just, I don't understand people who get upset because there's not instant agreement to everything and, oh, we don't agree and everything. What are we going to do? Just you wrestle.
And somebody's always going to get the short end of it.
Well-
They're not going to get what they want necessarily.
Well, it's compromise and you make your case and, you go and you,
You
say,
could insert that statement into so many things in marriage.
I know, just both you guys behave
I
yourself.
didn't.
It was his fault this time. So,
No, I'm talking about... What? Oh, wow.
He's reaching now.
I'm out of control. Listen, let's take a break. We'll come back with more of your emails right after this.
Attend Mark's Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage event. Visit laughyourway.com for upcoming dates and locations.
Headed down to the river where muddy water flows.
Speaking of the muddy waters,
I'm tired.
you're on the Mark Gungor Show. Trying to listen to our ramblings. Mark Gungor along with Diane and Phil.
So does Phil want to continue talking about compromise in marriage?
Compromises, I don't know.
What do you
Diane was
say?
Every time I talk, he yells at me.
Diane was just
Somehow
saying
inappropriate.
how to perfect, because she says, I don't listen. And if I would just match that with not talking, then
Don't talk.
I'd be perfect.
Don't listen.
Just
All,
sit there.
all
Just
will
sit
be
there.
well.
I don't do nothing.
You could tell people that's your life motto.
She's advocating that I be in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
What's my life motto? Don't talk, don't listen.
Those are the rules I live by.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
Don't talk, don't listen. Actually, that's a lot of men.
Yeah.
Seriously, I happen to be a talker.
don't talk
but there are a
and
lot
they
of men.
don't
They
listen.
do not talk, and they don't listen either.
Mm-hmm.
They just stay off in their man cave in their brain.
What did I hear yesterday? You have 2 ears and a mouth, so you're supposed to talk twice or listen twice as much as you talk.
Yeah.
I think that you talk about 18 times more than you listen.
Yeah, I would concur.
That would be you.
I would confess my sin. Why? Because I don't care what people think. And if they all think it's my fault, I don't care.
You don't care.
Who cares?
I think that you're odd in that
Everybody
way,
thinks
though.
it's, but who cares?
I'm just telling you, you're
What?
not
It
like
makes
the vast
no
majority
sense.
of people.
Everybody's, we're not talking, people can't deal with the issue before them. They have to put it in the context of everybody will think it's my fault. Who cares what everybody thinks? It's just bizarre to me. Anyway.
I'm trying to think of a situation that you might. Just might.
Shut up.
Okay, shall we move on?
We shall. What do you got?
Okay, the next email says, Hi, Mark, I have a question about sex. My husband and I have been married for 7 years. She wants to know, is orgasming the main point in having sex?
Orgasming.
Should that be the ultimate goal? That was her word.
Orgasming!
Or is it okay to not orgasm every time?
But it's fine. One generally hopes that would be the end goal. But no, you don't have to be orgasming.
She says
Every time.
there are times that she doesn't, and she lets her husband know that
Yeah.
she thinks it's fine, that it shouldn't be the ultimate goal, that she
Yes.
enjoys it either way. He
Yes.
thinks that it should be.
That should be his goal, to be a lover to the girl. But it's true that oftentimes a woman will not, but it's still fine with her.
Yeah.
It's not the same as a guy. Guys would go a little crazy. So yeah, guess what? Men and women are not the same. What a shock.
Do you think that for men like him, that he wants her to all the time? This is going to sound really bad. Is it a performance-based thing that they think that if she doesn't, that it's somehow reflecting
No, actually, I
poorly
like
upon
the
him?
fact that he thinks this way because
Yeah.
a lot of guys, they don't care.
Oh, you got that right.
Oh man, I mean the
long as they get
number
theirs.
of women that I talk to
I
that
know.
say that their husband comes and the whole thing's over in 3 seconds and he just doesn't care. And so the fact that he cares and that's his goal and I need to work. Good. You should applaud your
Yes.
husband. Fabulous. But on the other hand, does one have to always reach there for a woman? Apparently not.
No.
And it doesn't bother them necessarily unless it happens all the time.
And if she's good with it.
And they still enjoy it, which very odd from a man's point of view. But no, you're right. It's fine. Perfectly fine. Next question.
Okay. On we go.
Onward.
Onward. Are you done adjusting yourself there?
Seriously, this shirt, there's something wrong with it. Well, actually, it's to meet my body. I need
I don't think there's anything wrong with the shirt.
I need longer arms.
I think there's something wrong with you.
Well, this thing keeps slipping down. Every time I look over, I got like these gigantic, these gigantic cuffs. It's Cuffman! So anyway.
All right.
For those,
Cuffman.
For those who aren't watching, they have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyway,
This one,
all right.
I'm mixed up.
Okay, what do
Okay.
you got?
Also, a woman writing. She says, "What does it look like or mean when couples pray together?" She says, "I'm married to an extremely reserved man, and I rarely pray out loud." So apparently, neither of them pray out loud. Is this one of those modern spiritual intimacy type things that is crucial for forming a better relationship with each other and God? I feel like it's impossible to get a straight answer. I have tried doing a devotion or Bible study together with my husband, but so far, no luck. We've been married nearly 9 years and are both 29.
Yeah.
What about couples prayer and praying?
I think we should fight over prayer. That's what I think. I think the important thing about prayer is that we get so angry and bitter about it that we end up in divorce.
She's not saying that she's angry
no, I'm not talking about her.
and bitter.
That's not her. I'm talking about people who think this way.
Well, there are some that would fight to the death of their marriage over prayer.
Yes.
Honestly, I've heard of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
I'm not saying she's one of them. It doesn't sound like
I wasn't
she is.
talking about. Look, most of my answers have nothing to do with the people who are asking
I know, but
the
she's
question.
asking.
Has anyone noticed this?
Yeah.
When someone writes me,
And then people
I
write
don't
back
really,
and say, he didn't really answer my question.
because I don't.
No,
I don't
he
answer
didn't.
your. I talk to everyone that I can think of and hear and see that are very close to
It's all those millions of people that are
those millions of people who are not listening to
Yes.
the show.
But he was going to answer their questions.
I'm gonna
He won't answer the question of the one person who's watching and who wants the answer. He'll talk to the millions who are not.
No. I just think, people get so obsessed by these things. She's not obsessed. She's just asking the question. I would just relax.
Yeah.
My personal thing, this is me. This is what I teach in my church. I believe that prayer is talking to God. I do not like this idea. I think it is patently absurd that prayer is closing your eyes and thinking at God. Here, let's think at God. That's not prayer. And I know
So the point you're trying to make is that it does need to be out loud and verbalized.
Well, it doesn't need. I'm just saying it. I think it should be.
Okay.
Should we fight about it? Definitely not. If your husband, some guy, it's just talking their thoughts out loud is very uncomfortable for them. And if your husband's and yours version of let's pray, let's just be quiet for a minute. Fine. I'm not going to give you grief about it. I would say though, prayer should be spoken. And that you, in your own prayer life, can pray. My prayer life is not dependent on what my wife and I pray together at any one given time. That's the least of my prayer experience. Our prayers are pretty short, end of the day kind of things. We probably should be more intercessors, but we are not. On our own, we probably are. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't do that much with anybody.
Pray that much.
I don't, get together and you talk for 5 minutes and I'll talk for 5 minutes.
Because you don't listen.
Well, no, I'm just saying personally. I don't know. Everyone's going to hate me.
No,
I'm
not understanding the point you're making.
It's just that you can pray and talk to God, which I think, first of all, you talk to God. Virtually every prayer in any culture around the world is always talking to God. The very concept of prayer, if you look at prayer, the definition of prayer is to speak your requests to God. I'm just saying, I'm reacting to this. Here, let's all pray. Amen. Oh, what the heck is that? We have the moment of silence.
That's what I was just going to ask.
Let's all have a moment of silence. You have a moment of silence more than 60 seconds? I'm falling asleep, man. That's not prayer. Now there's people who get mad at me about this. I don't care. I guess I'm going to Again, do I care what anybody thinks?
No.
No. So biblically speaking, you don't have people thinking at God. They talk to God. Having said that, whatever your husband is comfortable doing with you, just do it. Just be a loving, supportive wife.
She probably keeps hearing the couple who prays together stays together. As Christians, you need to be spending this time together
At
praying.
least they're doing devotions together, and apparently they have this moment of silence. Then fine. Out of respect, you don't have to say, Mark Gungor says. just be fine. Relax, lady. It's fine. And again, it's not her, but the number of Christians. Can you imagine the absurdity of
destroying a marriage over spiritual things.
Oh, they do.
All the time.
They do.
I mean, I can see arguing over somebody has a boyfriend, somebody's texting someone's cursing, someone's gambling. But to wreck a marriage because you don't pray the way we should or you're not a spiritualist, I think it's just absurd. Love your husband, love your wife, relax. We'll be back after this break.
Caution, the Mark Gungor Show contains adult content intended for an adult audience.
Never easy, never sane. It's all so complicated. They look like a rainbow, but the color is the same. Hey, hey.
We're back on the Mark Gungor Show. This is the music of Jimmy Bratcher. Check out his music at jimmybratcher.com. What are we doing?
Flag page?
Flag page.
Do you want to do flag page?
Okay, we're going to have a flag page question. Let me set this up for the people who don't know what we're talking about, and there's lots of them. According to a study we did recently, the vast majority of people who watch this show or listen to the show have never done their flag page. It's a great program. You can go to flagpage.com. You take this simple little test, and it helps to really amplify who you are. What are the motivations in your life that drive you? And you think, well, that's not that important. It really is important because people who don't get those things supported or worse, criticized, these are the people who struggle the most. And in marriages that struggle the most, that's what they do to each other. They criticize what the other person loves the most, but they've never had these conversations. The flag page helps you to really get a picture of what makes you you. Helps for communication. Okay, what's your flag page question?
Her question is about being from perfect country.
Perfect
country. Do you want to explain perfect country quickly?
There's four motivations, and our test is not unique in this regard. This is science that's been around for 2,000 years. They got different words for it: phlegmatic, melancholy, sanguine. You know, it's Greek. You know, we just put ours in English.
Or golden retriever, otter, lion,
or
whatever.
colors, or frogs, chickens, lizards, pigs, whatever. I mean, everybody's got their. So that's not that unusual. What makes our program unusual? Disney princesses.
Oh my!
There probably would be a version of that.
Sure.
You can do it with Disney characters.
On Facebook. That's
Oh, is there really? Yeah.
What Disney character
Oh,
are
are
you?
you? And it's based on the personality.
It's based on
You
these
don't
things.
take those tests, Diane. Playing all cool.
Generally, I don't. Only the dumb ones that he posts.
So this is like it was Socrates, I think, who came up with.
Yes.
He was the one
Socrates.
who first noticed that you can pretty much break everybody in the world into four categories. It's really brilliant because even all these thousands of years later, it's overwhelmingly true. Now, what's different from ours, which I think makes ours far more superior in many ways, is number one, that's not the entirety of our test. We show many different things. The other thing, too, is these other tests, you take the test and then they just put you in one of the categories. When you just try to shove everybody in the world into just four different categories, you're going to miss a lot of stuff. Our stuff actually shows how much of every one of these is in you, because everybody has either a perfect nature and a little bit of a fun nature and a peace nature. We all have this. Ours not just identifies your biggest one, but how much all of them are. And I think ours clearly is better, or it wouldn't be ours. So anyway, so she has a question about perfect-natured people. These are detailed, oriented people who tend to be very sensitive people. They're very creative people. Their sense of perfection either pulls them up or it defeats them and pushes them down. They easily get depressed about things. All right, let's see what the question is.
She says, I recently took your flag page advice and found myself to be from perfect country primarily. So, saying go online, take it. So she did it.
Oh, good for her.
After listening to a previous show, your advice to someone who was probably perfect was, don't think so much. Don't be so idealistic. Don't live by your feelings. Well, I'm not opposed to the advice that you gave.
Wait a minute. Does that even sound like what I said? Someone's not listening. I would never say that. Okay, go ahead.
Just listen. She said, don't think about things so much. Don't be so idealistic. Yes. In fact, you did say that because I just listened to that show recently.
How about, and don't be so feeling?
Don't live by your feelings.
Don't live by
See,
your
he's not
feelings.
listening. Anyway,
I don't listen.
She says, while I'm not opposed to the advice you gave her, I have noticed that you often give the same advice in other scenarios, and I have to wonder if the people to which this advice is recommended might be from perfect country, like she is. And while this advice seems good on the surface, what I have realized is that it's not easy to follow if you are from perfect country. Idealistic, sensitivity, deep thinking, strong feelings are all characteristics of our very nature. So telling people from this country to just stop doing those things seems impossible. If our sensitivity, feelings, and
that's
ideals...
what I'm taking issue. I don't ever say to stop doing that. I'm saying just keep it in check.
It's like a fun person. I happen to be, let's see, what do you think I would be? Fun. All right. If fun people go unchecked, they're a disaster. They're never serious about anything, and they never get any work done because it's not fun, and they won't show up at work because it's not fun, or they'll cut out and on a break and not come back. Why? Because it's fun. These are people who will tend to party too much. Because they get caught up just because it's fun. That's all that's really driving them is fun. They're not trying to be perverts. They're just fun, or drunkards or whatever. They're seeking fun. A lot of these same very kinds of people wind up getting in very compromising situations with people of the opposite sex just because it's fun. They're not really even trying to do anything. They're just having a good time, and then all of a sudden somebody misinterprets it and they get themselves in trouble. And for someone to say, "Well, I'm just fun. I'm just going to be as fun as I can be," would be a disaster. And I am from fun country, and I love it. So this is true of every group. It's like people who are from peace country. They never want to argue. The problem is you have to get close to people. The only way you can do it is by arguing and debating and having conflict.
So sometimes you have to literally fight your nature.
Yes, absolutely. You can't just sit back into your mode and that's all you're going to be. So I didn't say you can't be whatever you are. It's just...
She's hearing you, again, in her sensitivity, hearing you say, stop it, just stop it.
I'm not saying to stop it. You are who you are. And it's good that you're who you are. But everybody has to put a little bit of a check onto who they are. The flag page isn't so... In fact, we talk about this. One of the negative things of a program like ours is people actually, this is who I am, and you can't tell me because I'm from this country, and you have to approach me this way. That's not what this is about. This isn't so you can stake out your ground and nobody can mess with me.
Oh, we hear from people who say, will you please tell my husband or tell my wife that it's not about, this is who I am, because that's what they do. They take it and then they use it to just bludgeon the other person.
That's not the point. The point is that you can get a sense of who you are, be able to more clearly communicate who you are to the other person, but not just so you can go on and just fight it to no end. If you're a perfect-natured person, and it's interesting, she said, sounds like a lot of the advice that you give are to those kinds of people. They are, in fact, the people who often struggle the most in marriage.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know, I haven't checked for a while, but when we were doing we don't really do it anymore, but we used to have a program that couples could contact us for, and we ran it for like 10 years. And the entire time that program was run, I don't think there was a single exception that either one or both people in that marriage came from that country.
When they contacted us and needed help with us,
they were always perfect-natured people. Always perfect.
Always one or more.
Because when control people things are going bad, they push through it. When fun people things are going bad, they try to laugh it off. When things are going bad for peace-natured people, they try to make peace with it. But when things are going bad for perfect-natured people, they come unglued. Well, the answer isn't just to become unglued. I'm not saying to people, just stop it. You're still who you are, but you still got to put it back into perspective and let your desire for perfection pull you up and not squish you down, because what happens is this isn't right, and so-and-so didn't talk to me the right way, and we should have done this, and we pray. Someone didn't pray the way they should have prayed, and they're not as spiritual as they should, and he's not being the spiritual leader, is what we were talking about before. These got to be perfect-natured people. They're all, and they're great people. These are the Michelangelos of life. Thank God for the perfect-natured people. I'm not slamming it.
They just have to learn to dial it down.
Dial
or
it
make
just like
crazy.
a fun person.
Yes.
You ever been around a fun person who never dials it down?
What? Excuse me? Pardon me?
Look, I run on it a lot, but I know how to turn it off and get serious. I'm talking about never. They never turn it back. I'm serious. I know you're making fun of me.
No, I'm not making fun of you. There are days it's like, you just stop already.
I know. I lead with it. I know people like this.
Yes.
Maybe you've never seen them. Forget bringing her into the conversation. I know people like this. And even being a fun person, I'm thinking.
Yeah. You need to calm down.
Stop. It's not all about party.
Yeah.
You need to get serious. You need to... you need to work, you need to be serious, you need to practice. Or you're going to fall apart in life. Or any group. I know.
Well, control people. Oh my gosh, if they never turn that off, you can't even live with them.
Everybody. And I know guys like this, they never shut it off.
Yeah.
And women like that. And they never shut it. They destroy everything. So it's not just about picking on perfect-natured people. It's that the perfect-natured people are, in fact, the ones who tend to write us because they want to get it right. So overwhelmingly, I would say the people who write us tend to be from perfect-natured country.
So it's not about stopping it.
It's not about it's about putting it in check and understanding, because anybody who doesn't learn to control themselves. And the Bible says the Spirit of God gives us the ability to control ourselves. In fact, it's called self-control. One of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. You have to control yourself. So anyway, I think she's very sharp, being the intelligent woman that she is and perfect-natured woman, that she would actually pick up on the fact that I bet a lot of people who write him are perfect-natured people. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yep.
Because control people are not driven to always want to get it right. Fun people, God only knows, are not driven to always get it right. Peace-natured people will be driven to some degree to get it right just so they can get along with people. I would dare say the bulk of our questions come from perfect-natured people or peace people who are trying to get a big chunk of perfection. Because you're writing us, someone you don't know, because you want to get it
Right.
right. So
At some point, you can just say, never mind. Not worth it. Not worth it.
I generally don't live my daily life in a quest for perfection.
Hadn't noticed.
Shut up. All right. We'll take a break. Be back with, what do we got? Money? We got a money
Yes,
question?
money.
Money, money, money. Money. We're going to talk about money when we come back right after this.
Have a marriage dilemma? Email your questions to ask@markgungor.com, and Mark can answer them during one of our shows.
What will you do? What will you say when the blues come?
When the blues come.
Oh, what a night. Oh, what a day when the blues come.
You are listening to and are watching the Mark Gungor Show, talking about love, marriage, and relationships. Listen to the music of Jimmy Bratcher.
You're ringing.
Speaking of, hey, Jimmy,
What?
don't say anything bad. You're on the Mark Gungor Show right now.
That's nice.
Here, full screen.
I'm in Alabama.
You're in Alabama. You're down in Bama.
I'm in Alabama.
How you doing,
I'm
man?
on my way to Georgia.
Doing what?
I just stopped by here. What do you want? Money or something?
You kept texting me during the show,
Oh,
and he
is that
sent me
what it was?
comments. Hey, what you doing? What's going on? You know, and I thought I'm just gonna put him on the show and let him know. Hey, I have a job. I'm working. Unlike you
Tie on
musicians.
Everything, man. What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Take that tie off.
He needs to come do shows with us again.
He should. Well, he's doing a show right now.
No, I mean like for real.
He is real. She doesn't think you're real.
She doesn't think I'm real?
She thinks like
didn't
you're
say
Santa Claus or
that.
something like that. Like you're the
He said
Easter
you
Bunny.
need to come sit here and do them for real with us.
What are you ranting and raving about today?
When isn't he ranting and raving, Jimmy? Come on.
Well, I know, but, I don't know what to say.
People love you,
Usually-
man. They love you. They love your music. You ever run into people that watch your show?
Yeah,
Do you really? Because there's
Oh, yeah.
tens of millions of people who don't watch your show.
I know. That's, it's like my album, Secretly Famous. My follow-up album will be internationally unknown.
There you go. I've been internationally
That's
unknown for
hilarious.
years. Anyway.
Yep.
All right, buddy. We love you, man. Hey, the church loved you last time you were here. They loved your message.
Good.
How to be, what was a spiritual giant in 60 seconds or less? Or,
It was very
Yeah,
good.
you
Something?
can go to
I watched part of it.
jb.com/SG and sign up for that.
What's it called?
The Rev jb.com/SG for spiritual giant.
Oh, good Lord. Who's going to
Sign up.
remember all this? W56 passes hashtag this, that, and the other
The Rev,
Foreign-
You know what?
JB.com.
You sound like
Slash
an old guy.
I am an old
He
guy.
is.
You lost him at www.
www.
You sound like an old guy.
As soon as you said www, I was lost.
Say
I
what?
don't know what you're talking about anymore.
www. I
Anyway.
did not.
The internet,
you
Jimmy.
tell him
He
in
wants to
Alabama,
know.
look at this.
What is the internet?
What is that? He's in Bama. Look at a big old truck. That's the vehicle. That's the luxury vehicle. That's the limo.
That's
the
my
limo.
ride.
That's
your
your
ride.
ride.
Yeah.
He's down
I
there
just-
doing a gig.
I went
They
to
said the limo and it's
www.rentadumptruck.com.
a dump truck shows up to take him to his gig. That's how you know you're famous, brother. You're making it, man. You're there.
That's it.
That's beautiful. We love you. Say goodbye to all the people, Jimmy.
Goodbye, all the people.
We love you, man. Check with you later.
Love you too.
Bye. Jimmy Bradshaw, ladies and gentlemen. He is the man. That's fun.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He kept texting me. It's irritating me. So let's just talk to him.
Gosh, remind me never to text you again.
Oh, and I'm doing something. All right. Okay. Well, sometimes people text me when I'm preaching.
I've never been known to do
I can't. Some people. Some people actually text while I'm preaching, and I'll see comments popping up. And it's like, stop!
No, in my defense and in
You
your
have no
wife's
defense.
the couple of times that we've done that, we did not realize we were on the thread that included you when we started
So
messaging
it's her
one
and my
another.
wife. These two psychos are like talking
Yes.
back. Blah, 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 blah. No, heaven forbid they should be, I don't know, paying attention to the preacher. We don't want that going
They're
on.
multitaskers.
We are. Hey, I told you I can pack and do dishes and everything, do laundry while I'm listening to you. I can do all of that.
I think it's God's will that you do my laundry.
I have done your laundry. In fact,
There you
know
go.
that I have.
Praise God. Hallelujah.
Oh my God. I did. I texted you once during a message and you went ding and you went, who's texting me? And I never did it again on purpose.
My mom
Not on purpose.
FaceTimed me during a service.
During the
She
service.
did.
And my iPad, it's my fault. I should have had it in airplane mode. So my iPad's
Well, that's what I do now.
My iPad's playing the music tracks, so it's plugged into the sound system, playing through the sound system, and all of a sudden, I'm in a panic trying to shut it off.
Well, I now put my iPad on airplane mode, or as we call it, the Diane filter. We never asked the money question.
Keep her out. No, we didn't. And now we're up to the thing. So either we do money at the break
All
or
right,
we
we'll
skip
take
it
a
till
break.
next
We'll come
time.
back. We'll talk about money right after this.
Have a marriage dilemma? Email your questions to ask@markgungor.com, and Mark can answer them during one of our shows.
Steamed milk, lots of froth. Makes a mustache and I love to lick it off. Yeah, one thing's for certain, this much I know. It's always brewing and it's not your average Joe.
Michael O'Brien. Check out his music at michaelo.org. We should FaceTime with him.
Yes, we should.
Nacho Mama. All right. What you got?
Okay,
Money.
This is a bit longish. I hope we can get it in.
Okay.
Anyway, she says, we've been married nearly 45 years. The last 10 have been very traumatic. My husband has a repeated habit of making decisions, major ones involving moving houses, financial things, etc., without consulting me, and basically assuming I will go along with him. This has caused quite a few problems over the years, but mainly I cave in because I thought I should be doing what he decided. About 10 years ago, he decided to start making financial decisions, which when I showed my concern and objected to some of these plans, I was told that it was his business and I had to stay out of it. This resulted in him going bankrupt and caused me to sink into major depression. I know the trigger for the depression was that I felt completely of no value and the worth of my opinion and thoughts were not to be considered. I lost my home and still have some debt against me where I signed the paperwork while unwell and under duress. Since this time, he's worked hard to get them back on track. Anyway, their youngest son has come in and started helping the husband to take control. And so usually they have to check with him now before he makes any moves. But suddenly now the husband has gone back to making a decision without her. It's apparently about giving money to someone for a legal situation, and they still have debt in all of this. She says, I need to discuss this with him, and I don't know how to go about it without coming off as an angry wife. She's looking for, well, he runs me into bankruptcy and I lose my house and everything. I'd
Okay,
be an angry
sweetheart.
wife.
Okay, so just think it through a little bit. Everybody listening and watching the show right now, how has her original plan been working out for her?
Not well for all of these
She
years.
just backs off, and I don't want to confront him, and I think it says she's just going to, he's supposed to, maybe she thinks the scriptural thing is just do whatever he
Yeah.
says. And that's not what the Bible is implying. For heaven's sakes. Anyway, how's that working out for you? You're bankrupt. Your finances have been destroyed. Maybe, just maybe, if you want to be biblical about it, the helpmeet. You're supposed to help the boy and speak up. This idea of submission being that you just got to do whatever the guy says is absurd. Of course it's not what that means. Goodness gracious. I start doing major stuff like this and getting my wife mad, there's going to be hell to pay in my house. What do you think?
I think there would be hell to pay
Goodness
in your house.
gracious. And now she's still wondering maybe I should still be quiet?
Well, she doesn't know how to talk to him without coming across as angry when they have
I
this
don't know
history.
how to talk to him. Here's an advice. Just stay quiet again so you can be even a worse situation. I can't even believe she's writing this. I don't know what to say. You talk to him and say, no, we can't do this. And if anybody has a strong case on why he cannot do this, it's you. The last time you went down this rat hole, you wound up in bankruptcy and he destroyed everything. You say this is a marriage. You know, legally, a marriage is a partnership. It's a financial partnership. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because anything he does, you'll be responsible for.
Well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
She has, had to deal with the debt that he incurred.
So stop and think about it. Forget whatever you think, Rabbi and Pastor who-and-so said women should do. Legally, before the law, whatever he does, now you are responsible for. You think maybe you should speak up? You think maybe you should do something? I mean, it's like someone who... I don't know, what's an example where you do something really terrible and, I don't know, you're not paying attention and you crash into somebody and you kill them. Mm-hmm. Do you know that legally you will be charged with manslaughter? Mm-hmm. You'll go to prison. I know a lady who wasn't paying attention and hit a motorcyclist, killed the guy. Nice lady. The lady was thrown in a hoosegow for 7-8 years. Mm-hmm. It was I felt so bad because it wasn't like she intended to kill anybody. It wasn't her. She's a nice lady. She's a mom and all these things. And now she's in prison because she did this once, driving and going. Mm-hmm. Really? So a big chunk of your life is going to be in prison because you did this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called responsible. You are responsible. All you people, listen to me. You women who think I should just submit and not say anything, you got to understand, legally, you will be held responsible for what your husband does. So you husbands and wives who think, I don't want to deal with it, or even guys, I just let my wife handle it, I don't check anything. Reality check. You run into a disaster, you are responsible, even though it was your wife who did it. Or you think, I'm just going to be submissive and let my husband do it. And although you know what's going on, you will be responsible. Because you're going to be responsible, you need to speak up.
But even if she comes across as an angry wife,
I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Who cares what you come across?
To tell him.
What did I say? Most of our people writing us to our perfect people or peace people.
Yes.
Who don't want to ruffle their... You do this, you're not going to have any peace at all. You've got to have some confrontation. All right, work it out. We'll see ya.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.